to actually introduce Dheer. Dheer is my batchmate from the Indian Administrative Service. He's of the 1986 batch, and he has actually worked in the Ministry of Education earlier, and he was responsible for quite a few changes that were brought out in those days when we were starting with the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, when the thought process for the Right to Education Act, etc., was coming in. He subsequently found his calling in education, and he left the service and is now the founder director of Language and Learning Foundation. Actually, this is perhaps one of the most important, perhaps the only organization in the country which is working with children as a CSO for on promoting home language and mother tongue, and his work, which spreads across a number of states, has given him a lot of experience on why it is so important that children are taught in their mother tongue or in their home language. With these few words, I will request Dr. Dheer Jhingran to please give his presentation. And as soon as Dr. Shakila Shamshu joins in, she will probably wrap up the session after Dr. Rao has spoken. Dr. Dheer Jhingran.
Thank you, Anita ji. I'll share my presentation, right?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. सभी को नमस्कार. मैं अपना प्रेजेंटेशन मिली-जुली भाषा में करूंगा, इंग्लिश और हिंदी. आप सभी जानते हैं कि NEP 2020 में बच्चों की भाषाओं का और स्थानीय भाषाओं के प्रयोग पर कितना जोर दिया गया है. प्रधानमंत्री ने भी स्थानीय भाषाओं के विकास के बारे में उल्लेख किया है. My contention is this, that the main means of learning in school is through language. Language supports all the processes of learning. चाहे हम बातचीत करते हैं बच्चे, या पढ़कर समझते हैं, सुनते हैं, सोचते हैं, तर्क करते हैं, लिखते हैं, इन सभी प्रक्रियाओं में भाषा का प्रयोग होता है. Today we are stressing a lot on foundational literacy, and as you can see at the bottom of the slide, one of the most important components of foundational literacy is reading comprehension, पढ़कर समझना. और this depends on two major abilities. One is language comprehension, the other is word recognition. Word recognition basically means to be able to recognize letters, matras, to be able to read words fluently. But reading comprehension does not happen till there is a good understanding of the language. तो ये भाषाई समझ बहुत जरूरी है, और वो तभी हो सकती है जब कक्षा में बच्चों की जानी पहचानी घर की भाषा का इस्तेमाल हो. Just another minute on why it is important to use home languages in early years. A strong foundation of a familiar language helps to learn other languages better. There's been so much research to say that to learn other languages, it's very important that the child knows one language very well. Large-scale studies all over the world have shown that those children who've studied through a language they understand for 4, 6, or 8 years have shown better results in upper primary and secondary education in subjects like mathematics and science. The third bullet, of course, we know that children's language, culture, and identity help to create a positive self-image in children, create self-confidence, और ये सभी चीजें सीखने के लिए बहुत जरूरी हैं. जिन कक्षाओं में बच्चों की भाषा का प्रयोग होता है, आप देखेंगे कि वो कक्षाएं बहुत ही सजीव और इंटरैक्टिव होती है. वहां बच्चे बहुत सक्रिय रूप से जुड़ते हैं सीखने सिखाने की प्रक्रिया से. तो इसलिए बच्चों की भाषा का प्रयोग शुरुआत में बहुत जरूरी है. We know that our society is multilingual, and therefore we need multilingual education, which works with 2 or more languages. As I said earlier, we must begin with children's strong language. और इस नींव के ऊपर, over this foundation, we build the proficiency in other languages, including English, because it's known that languages develop in an interrelated manner. The best way, of course, is to use the children's home or familiar language as medium of instruction for as many years as possible. पर कुछ सिचुएशंस ऐसी हो सकती हैं जहां ये संभव नहीं हो, वहां पर बच्चे की भाषा को औपचारिक रूप से, फॉर्मल रूप से हमको सीखने सिखाने की प्रक्रिया के साथ जोड़ना चाहिए. बच्चे बोले उस भाषा में, टीचर भी बोलें, उसमें कहानी सुनाई जाए, कविता सुनाई जाए, बातचीत हो. तो हमको ये देखना है कि किस तरह से हर स्थिति में बच्चों की भाषा का प्रयोग हो, और साथ में बच्चों की संस्कृति और उनके अनुभवों को भी क्लासरूम में लाना बहुत जरूरी है. अब इस बात पे आते हैं कि there is research to say that about 25 to 30% children in our country face a learning disadvantage on account of the gap between home and school language. उनके सीखने सिखाने की प्रक्रिया में बाधा इसलिए पड़ रही है क्योंकि उनकी घर की भाषा और स्कूल की भाषा अलग है. ये बच्चे कौन हैं? The first category, of course, is Adivasi scheduled tribe children in remote tribal areas. For example, a Saura child in Rayagada district in southern Orissa, or a Koya-speaking child in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. Second category is of children in interstate border areas. For example, Telugu-speaking families who are living in southern Orissa districts. The third big bucket is those children who study through a language that is considered a dialect or a variant of the school language. For example, Awadhi, Bundeli, Bagheli, Nimadi, Kachhi, Wagadi, all of these languages, but actually these are very different languages. और जब ये स्कूल आते हैं बच्चे ये अपनी भाषा बोलते हुए, तो उनको स्कूल की जो मानक भाषा है समझ में नहीं आती है. So this is a big bucket. The fourth one is children of migrant workers. For example, in Kerala, there are children from families from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Assam, and also those who migrate seasonally. 2-3 महीने के लिए वो अपने राज्य को, अपने घर के छोड़कर दूसरी जगह जाते हैं, ईंटे भट्टे में काम करने के लिए या गन्ने की खेती के लिए. तो ये बच्चे जब परिवार के साथ जाते हैं तो उनको जिस राज्य में वो जाते हैं वहां पर वो शिक्षा का माध्यम नहीं मिलता जिसमें वो पढ़ के आते हैं अपने घर से, अपने राज्य से. For me, the most disadvantaged is the group that studies through English as medium of education. Especially those children who have little exposure to English outside school and have no support at home. इन बच्चों के लिए रटने के अलावा और ब्लैक बोर्ड से या पाठ्य पुस्तक से नकल करने के अलावा और कोई विकल्प नहीं बचता है. न ये अपनी भाषा अच्छी तरह सीख पाते हैं और न इंग्लिश अच्छी तरह सीख पाते हैं. अब ये समझने के लिए कि क्या स्थितियां हैं, कहां पर कैसी परिस्थिति है, किन बच्चों का लैंग्वेज डिसएडवांटेज है, वी हैव टू डू समथिंग कॉल्ड लैंग्वेज मैपिंग, अ वेरी सिंपल लैंग्वेज मैपिंग. And here I won't go into details, but once we do a simple language mapping, we are able to say ki what is the situation in a particular area. I have just explained 4 types of situations. I won't go into detail, but just as an example, एक उदाहरण के तौर पे मैं टाइप 2 यहाँ पर लेता हूँ, जहां पर एक कक्षा में सभी बच्चे एक ही भाषा बोलते हैं, उनको स्कूल की भाषा की बिल्कुल ही जानकारी नहीं है या बहुत कम है जब वो स्कूल आते हैं, और टीचर बच्चों की भाषा समझते हैं. इसको मैंने टाइप 2 कहा है. जैसे कुछ ट्राइबल एरियाज में ट्राइबल टीचर्स हैं और बच्चे उस समय उड़िया या मराठी या हिंदी जो भी भाषा है स्कूल की वो नहीं समझते हैं. सिमिलरली वी कैन कैटेगराइज द डिफरेंट सिचुएशंस एंड कम अप विद अ टाइपोलॉजी ऑफ व्हाट इज इन द पर्टिकुलर स्टेट. ये बहुत जरूरी है ये समझने के लिए कि हम बहुभाषी शिक्षण या बच्चों की अगर लैंग्वेज को स्कूल में लाना है तो कौन सी अप्रोच को यूज करेंगे. अप्रोच कई हो सकती हैं और इसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि वहां परिस्थिति क्या है ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है. और यहाँ पर मैंने कुछ परिस्थितियों को लेफ्ट हैंड कॉलम में एंड व्हाट कुड बी द अप्रोचेस आर ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड कॉलम. आई विल ओनली टॉक अबाउट 1 or 2 in very brief. The first approach, which is useful for remote tribal areas, where I mentioned that all children belong to the same language background, they do not understand the language of school, and there's no support for that language at home. A mother tongue based program of multilingual education, where children study through that language for many years, 5-7 years, And during that period, we help children understand other languages, and later on, after 5-7 years, there could be a transfer to the regional or state language. Interstate border areas में भी ये यूज की जा सकती है, और ये इसको कहा जाता है मातृभाषा आधारित बहुभाषी शिक्षण, मदर टंग बेस्ड। जो सेकंड सिचुएशन है वो ज्यादा कॉमन है, जो मैंने कहा, बच्चे बहुत सारी स्थानीय भाषाएं बोलते हुए स्कूल आते हैं, अवधी, बुंदेली, बघेली, हर राज्य में ऐसी स्थानीय भाषाएं, छत्तीसगढ़ी, वहां पर हो सकता है स्टेट लैंग्वेज इज स्टिल यूज्ड एज द ऑफिशियल मीडियम ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन, आइदर इट्स हिंदी और इट्स तेलुगु, बट in the classroom we should have extensive use of the children's language, which I've called L1, first language, children की जो पहली strong भाषा है, and to help them understand the second language and also help them do a lot of work of higher order comprehension, to express themselves. That is not possible in a language they're not familiar with. So the children's first language remains in the classroom. It is also developed, but the medium of instruction remains the second language. This is something we may have to use in large parts of the country, but we must do this very systematically and strategically. So these are some situation types and possible approaches. And I will close in the final 2 slides by talking about some initiatives that states can take to kick off the process that NEP has started. NEP is a very progressive document. तो इसका क्रियान्वयन कैसे हो सकता है? एक तो ये बात है कि जो प्री प्राइमरी है, बिफोर क्लास 1, प्री प्राइमरी आंगनवाड़ी में हो या स्कूलों में हो, वहां पर तो पूरी तरह बच्चे की भाषा का प्रयोग ही होना चाहिए. We must ensure that schools have teachers who speak and understand the children's language. Otherwise, there's really no education happening there. So maybe we have to think of some language quotas in some areas जहां पर teachers नहीं हो उस language के. So in the recruitment process, and also how you deploy teachers, we have to see that teachers of that language background are posted in those areas. And this third one is my personal belief that English should not be used as a medium of instruction at least before grade 3. और जैसा मैंने पहले कहा, किसी भाषा को माध्यम की तरह इस्तेमाल करने से पहले बच्चों को उस भाषा की अच्छी समझ बन जानी चाहिए, जिसके लिए 4-5 साल कम से कम लगते हैं, ज्यादा लगते हैं, पर minimum 3 years. Let's not condemn our children to learn through a language which they don't completely understand. So that's my appeal. The fifth bullet about learning outcomes and assessments, we think that all children, whether they are coming from a remote area where they're speaking Saura or Wagadi, will be able to learn very good Odia and write very good Odia by the end of class 2, compared with a child who comes from a Hindi or an Odia speaking background. Now, there will be differences. We must understand this. So when we do learning outcomes, which is very important for us, but we must look at how children who come from a different background, and we have to start with their languages, at what stage they will be able to do the same things in literacy and in children. हमको एक change in the learning outcomes expected in each grade ये बनाना पड़ेगा. Probably and definitely by class 5, all children should be able to do what every child is expected to do in class 5. Our teacher education system will need a lot of reform to introduce issues of diversity, beliefs and attitudes, multilingualism, especially for our faculty members. And I'll end this last slide by what can be an agenda for the next few months, less than a year. As I mentioned, simple linguistic language mapping in selected areas, using very simple formats so that we are able to say, this is type 1, this is type 2, this is type 3 kind of situation. The second, as I mentioned, is that it's very important to create multilingual awareness. भाषाएं inferior नहीं होती हैं, कमतर नहीं होती हैं, उनको बढ़ावा देना है. ये हमारी मान्यताएं हैं कि ये भाषा स्कूल में प्रयोग नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि ये सब स्टैंडर्ड है. इस अवेयरनेस में बदलाव लाना पड़ेगा. ये समझना पड़ेगा कि बच्चे की स्ट्रांग भाषा के साथ काम करने से किस तरह से बच्चा अच्छी तरह पढ़ पाएगा और उसकी अन्य भाषाएं बहुत अच्छी तरह डेवलप होंगी, इंक्लूडिंग इंग्लिश. Of course, Ministry of Education, state governments can also help in compiling good practices. जो भी काम हमारे देश में हो रहा है बच्चों की भाषाओं के प्रयोग का, उसको कैसे सबके साथ साझा किया जाए, उस पर डिबेट हो, उस पर चर्चा हो और किस तरह से उसको पिकअप किया जा सकता है. The most easy way to begin to use children's home languages, and I'm saying this, that's not the end of it, that's how we begin, is to use them in the oral domain, to get teachers to talk, to read aloud stories and poems, for children to speak, for them to think and reason in the home language orally, while they are picking up the school language. और इस पे काम हुआ है और ये देखा गया है कि जहां भी ऐसा होता है, children are definitely more engaged, they are doing higher order comprehension work, और ये oral domain में है, तो medium of instruction और किताबें अभी शुरुआत में जो state का language है वही रहता है, but this is a good beginning. And the last point is, a lot of material can be created in the next few months, in 9-10 months, in children's local languages, because that is really very important to be available in the classroom. Here are some examples of such material in Wagadi and Chhattisgarhi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jhingran, for your very elaborate presentation. A few of the slides which I missed, but I'm sure Secretary School Education and the team there have heard through that presentation. This is why I said yesterday's session also, where we had two practitioners from the Alcon School and one from Jharkhand. They had actually said what has been the life experiences of actually translating mother tongue education. And I think with due respect, Secretary Madam, I think this particular presentation gives us a roadmap on how to actually address the implementation of mother tongue instruction in the early years. I think having heard Dr. Jhingran, I'll go on